Queen with Soft Eye Boutique, here to make a quick video. It's pretty late at night. Well, I'm hoping that this video is going to be quick. It's something that I want to talk about, right? Yeah, this whole celibacy, abstinence, purity, whole, even sodomy, all of that. So I want to, I'm really going to get into semantics here right quick. So this is why people really need to be careful about the words they use, because celibacy, and I'm looking at the actual Merriam-Webster dictionary, the first definition of celibacy, it means the state of not being married. That's pretty much what celibacy has always meant. It eventually evolved into what we now know as abstention, but abstention can be from anything. So a lot of people use abstinence, right? So celibacy is the state of not being married. That's the first definition. Then you have abstention from sexual intercourse and abstention by vow from marriage, priestly celibacy. That's why them priests and them nuns be getting down, right? Okay. So let me go to abstinence. Okay, so abstinence is the practice of abstaining from something, the practice of not doing or having something that is wanted or enjoyable. So which could mean abstention from sexual intercourse. And then I want to get into, it's about to be real taboo, sodomy. Yeah, a lot of people actually commit sodomy and participate in sodomy. So sodomy is anal or oral copulation, that's sex, with another person. So that is sodomy. Then they have especially anal or oral sex with a member of the same sex. Then you get into with the animals. Okay, so there's different forms of sodomy, and a lot of people engage in sodomy. So I'm going through all of these definitions, right? Because I need folks to understand my thought pattern on sex, and the fact that when people use the word like hoe, slut, all of that, that is, calling somebody a hoe or a slut is not objective. It is very subjective. And I've started to move, I don't really call people hoes and sluts, because that's really the fail safe that people result to when they just want to offend a woman, especially a black woman or a girl. They automatically going to call you a hoe or a slut and all of this, all these every sexual slur that they can think of. That just comes from historical human trafficking. So I'm definitely at the point in my life where it's an automatic fail safe. So in the world's mind, like, all black girls and women are hoes and sluts. So I mean, just please invent something new, right? But I'm saying all this to say why calling somebody a hoe or a slut is very subjective. Because if we go to these definitions, like black and white, black letter law definitions, how can you, if you engage in anal or oral, you a hoe or you a slut, you really a sodomite according to the definitions. And most people do that. Also, most people saying that they celibate, and they not. Celibacy traditionally did not have anything to do with abstaining from sex. It was just a state of not being married. Even though marriage, sex, technically by the Bible, sex is only supposed to happen during marriage, right? But that's neither here nor there at this point. So just really be careful when you utilize a lot of words, because even if it's a state of being married, if you're engaging in sex while you're actually married, a real marriage, like you have a marriage license, marriage contract, none of this spiritual BS that people talk about and, oh, it's just a piece of paper. There are people who honestly think that if you do anything other than missionary, you are a sodomite. You are like literally only missionary. No, you don't take oral out of it. Anal. I'm not gonna get into that because people do what they want to do. That's not my thing. I have my own scientific reasoning for that. But there are people out here who honestly believe if you do anything other than missionary in the bedroom, you are a slut, you are a whore, you are like the sluttiest thing walking, you this sexual deviant. So calling somebody a hoe or a slut is really left up to interpretation. I'm not condoning certain sexual, what I deem to be sexual deviancy, because it took me, I would say, at the beginning of this year, I really had to have a come to queen beat and say, you know what? The standards that I have for myself, I can't place that on other people. Who am I to place that on other folks? Now, I'm not going to allow, if I'm dealing with a man and he's dealing with a woman who I feel does not meet up to my, well, one, I'm not going to deal with a man who's dealing with another woman because that's just not how I get down. He can deal with however many women he wants to. I'm just not going to be in that number. But I'm not going to say that she's a hoe or she's a slut, because obviously she has something that he wants that I'm not providing him, and it has nothing to do with my value or my worth. That is what he likes. That is what he loves. If this other woman can come along and quote unquote take him away, that's obviously something that he's into. And with that, I want to segue into this whole slut culture, whole culture, 304 culture, right? I made a video about this a long time ago. It is somewhere on this page, but I'm saying all of this in quotations, right? Hoes, sluts, Jezebels, what they call it, spirit of Lilith, all of this crap that they talk about, they literally only exist because men love that. They love it. I really need y'all to understand. It is where people are not, the feminists and all that, they're not going to agree with this, but for the most part, women only do what the men want them to do. So even when you go to so-called prostitution, or what they call it sex work, the prostitutes and sex workers can't exist without men. So they are male-centered. It is not empowering and freeing at all. So men love that. They love hoes. They love sluts. They love Jezebels. They love witches. They love Liliths. They love all of that. Until the men say, I'm literally not going to have sex with this person. That is when all of this is going to stop. I don't care what a man tell you, what he doesn't have feelings for her, he doesn't have this. Obviously you have feelings, because it doesn't have to be a feeling of love, okay? But so many different feelings and emotions can cause and do cause arousal. It will cause you or cause a man to have an erection. Hating somebody is a feeling. It is an emotion. Being disgusted by someone is a feeling and an emotion, which to them causes them arousal, which in turn causes them to have an erection. From there, it causes them to want to insert themselves inside of this woman that they're saying is just this horrible beast of a person. And they will enjoy it because they're going to have a release and they're going to ejaculate. I'm being very scientific and technical here. So yes, Yes, until the men turn away from all of this stuff that they claiming that they hate, right? And it's the same thing, just like the people who talking about, who all they do is sit up and talk about how they hate LGBT people and all of this type of stuff. It's the same thing. If a man is constantly saying that he hate hoes, he hates sluts, he hate women wearing wigs and weaves and false eyelashes and all these long crazy nails, that's what he's into. Those are the women that he's into. Those are the women who get him going, because what you focus on grows. I automatically, if I sense the guy is not something that I want in my reality, I have gotten to the point in my life where I automatically turn away from him. I don't entertain him. I don't make videos bashing men, right? And that's it. Like, I am really big. I cannot stand a bitch. I cannot stand a bitch ass bleep de bleep. Okay? But I was attracting bitch ass bleep de bleeps in my life because I used to go on rants all the time about these bitch ass bleep de bleeps. And I got to the point to where I'm like, okay, as soon as I sense that this is a bitch ass bleep de bleep, it's boom, like it's automatically out of my reality. I'm not getting on YouTube making a video. I'm not getting on social media making a video. I meet guys all the time, you know, fully veiled, when I'm not veiled. Either way, I'm a very beautiful woman. I'm very gorgeous. It just exudes from my pores. It's just a part of my aura. And I have a high level of sex appeal no matter what I'm wearing. And that's just what it is. So I meet men all the time, and if I was to really just tell stories about the men I meet and I disqualify them immediately, my whole page will be filled with that. But I don't harp on it like I used to do when I was younger than I am now. Because what's the point? This guy is no longer in my reality. Why am I going to sit up here and talk about somebody who's no longer in my reality that I really don't give a you know what about? You know, he a bitch ass bleep to bleep, and he went on about his way. And that's that. And it's honestly a high level of respect for yourself when you disqualify them immediately. Just like, okay, this guy playing the game, or you know, he want to play this game, or you could tell he like, you know, really dealing with trifling women and all this type of stuff. Bruh, like, I look, and I'm gonna end this video on this. I tell men, I'm so old school. A man can do whatever he wants to do. I'm never gonna stop a man from doing what he wants to do with other women. You can have however many women you want. You can even have however many men you want. That's how old school I am. But look at this. I'm so old school on top of that. I'm going to allow you to have all of that. But I'm not going to be around. I'm going to respect your mind enough to let you have that. And I'm going to respect my mind enough to exit out of your reality. So you can go over there and you can do that. That's what you into. That's the life that you want. You can have that. You can have whatever reality you want. You can have whatever sexual reality you want. Freaky deaky, freak off, all of this type of stuff. You can have that. Okay? But if that's not something I'm in agreement with, I'm going to exit out of that picture. I'm going to exit out of that storyline. And that's just what I do. So it is what it is. So I just wanted to get on here. I know I kind of went, like I always do, go off on a tangent. But I just wanted to just tell y'all, be careful with these words that y'all use. Celibacy, abstinence, sodomy, all of that. You know, and I'm not celibate. I don't believe in celibacy in abstinence. Even when I'm not engaging in sex, I'm still never going to say that I'm celibate or abstinent. It's not a part of my reality. It's not a part of my life. It's not a part of my values. I don't believe in that foolishness that celibacy and abstinence bring you closer to God. Yeah, I just don't. And I don't care who got a problem with it. So this Queen with Soft Eye Boutique.